Imagine for a moment that you are on a journey. A journey where the landscapes change, where challenges are constant, and where at times you feel lost. What you are truly seeking is not something that can be touched, measured, or displayed to others. What you are really looking for is not a visible achievement, but something that resides deep within your being. It is the true treasure, the one that is truly worth finding. And this treasure is not in any distant land, nor in any luxurious object. It cannot be bought or sold. The true treasure, the one you should seek with all your strength, lies in spiritual things. With every step you take, instead of looking outward at the wealth and possessions the world tries to sell you, look inward. True wealth is not something you carry in your bag or flaunt on social media. It's not the size of your house, the price of your car, or the number of followers you have. No. The greatest treasure you can accumulate, the one that can truly transform your life in a profound way, lies in the invisible things to human eyes: faith, love, peace, and hope. Faith, for example, is not an abstract concept, but a solid foundation upon which you can build your life. It is the invisible thread that connects you to something greater, something beyond the tangible, something that transcends physical reality. It is the trust in something eternal, something that cannot be shaken by the uncertainties of the world. When you have faith, you have the ability to move forward, even when the road is dark and the horizon seems distant. Faith is not just blind belief, it is a quiet certainty that even in chaos, there is a purpose and a plan for your life. And love? Love is a force that cannot be contained, cannot be measured. It is not just a fleeting feeling, but a transformative power that redefines your view of everything. Love is the key to understanding others, to forgiving, to helping, to being compassionate. When you truly love, there are no limits, no boundaries, no ego. Love transcends all, and as you seek this treasure, you begin to realize that the world around you becomes brighter, fuller of meaning. Now, peace. Imagine what it would be like to live with a peace that does not depend on the circumstances around you. Not a temporary peace, one that comes and goes, but a lasting, deep peace that fills your soul, even in the midst of life's storms. Spiritual peace is that feeling of inner calm that nothing can steal. It does not come from material things, nor from external achievements. It comes from knowing that, regardless of the challenges you face, you are at peace with yourself and with the world. And finally, hope. Perhaps there has been a moment when you felt helpless, as if there were no way out, as if doors closed with every attempt. But hope is the treasure that keeps your soul alive, that makes you believe in the impossible, that gives you the strength to move forward when everything seems to be falling apart. Hope makes you see that even in the darkest hours, there is light at the end of the tunnel. It reminds you that the journey is not over, that there is always a new opportunity, a new chance, a new morning to begin again. These are the treasures that cannot be bought or stolen. They are values that, when cultivated within you, transform your life and draw you closer to something greater, something divine. The world may try to convince you that you need wealth, power, and status to be happy, but true happiness is not found in those things. It is found in the silence of faith, the warmth of love, the serenity of peace, and the vibrant flame of hope. And here is the greatest secret. When you invest in these spiritual treasures, you not only draw closer to God, but you begin to live with true purpose, with a sense of fulfillment that nothing in this world can provide. Because the feeling of being aligned with the divine, of living in accordance with what is eternal and unchanging, is the only one that brings true satisfaction. That is what fills your soul in a way that no earthly success ever could. So, instead of chasing after perishable goods, seek these spiritual riches. Make them the center of your life, and you will see how the world around you starts to make sense. It is not about what you possess, but about who you become as you seek these invisible treasures. When you invest in them, you find lasting purpose and a peace that will never be taken from you. And that is the true wealth. There is a significant difference between earthly and heavenly treasures, a difference that often goes unnoticed in the rush of daily life. Perhaps you found yourself chasing after material things, trying to achieve what the world claims is the pinnacle of success. Wealth, status, fame, comfort. These are the promises of happiness that the world offers us. Yet, as you move forward in life, something curious happens. Even when you attain all of this, even when you taste the power, wealth, and popularity, a sense of emptiness persists. And it is within this emptiness that the key to understanding the difference between the treasures you seek and the treasures that truly matter lies. Earthly treasures, such as wealth and status, share one thing in common: they are fleeting. With each material achievement you reach, there is always a sense that something more needs to be conquered. You achieve one goal, only for it to become obsolete, replaced by another, even more distant. Everything you possess, whether money, material goods, or recognition, is vulnerable. The world we live in is, by nature, unstable. Riches can be lost in an instant. The status you build, constructed on the sand of others' approval, can crumble at any moment. No matter how much you have or achieve, none of it can guarantee your lasting happiness or inner satisfaction. Have you ever found yourself wondering, even with everything you've attained, if this is really all there is? If beneath the surface there isn't something deeper to be reached? Now, imagine that instead of focusing on things that can be taken from you, you began to look at something that cannot be corrupted, something that cannot be lost, something that is eternal. Heavenly treasures are exactly that, unchanging, indestructible, and guaranteed by divine grace. These treasures cannot be bought with money, cannot be measured by social achievements, and cannot be acquired through power or influence. They are gifts offered by God, presents that cannot be stolen or destroyed. True peace, unwavering faith, unconditional love, these are the treasures that never grow old, never fade with time, and cannot be taken from you. They are given to you directly from the divine source, and no force in this world can remove them from your soul. Now, take a moment to reflect. Have you ever felt the profound peace that comes from the understanding that there is something greater than material concerns? The peace that comes when you realize that, even without the riches of the world, you are complete, fulfilled, satisfied? Or perhaps you have experienced the joy of loving without expecting anything in return, or the faith that moves mountains even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. These are the heavenly treasures, and they are priceless. They are priceless because they are immeasurable. They are immortal, and their presence in your life is a guarantee that true happiness does not lie in things that fade with time, but in those that deepen with eternity. The pursuit of material wealth can divert you from what truly matters. It is easy to get lost in the endless cycle of wanting more, of seeking something that, deep down, you know will not truly fill your soul. The world offers many empty promises: success at work, the dream house, the luxury car. But these things do not have the power to restore your soul, to transform your life in a profound way. They may offer temporary comfort, but never lasting peace. They may fill your days with momentary excitement, but never satisfy your inner thirst. On the other hand, the pursuit of heavenly things, faith, love, hope, inner peace, connects you with a true eternal life. By connecting with heavenly treasures, you not only gain something that no one can take from you, but you also draw closer to a purpose that transcends time and space. You begin to see life differently, to look beyond superficialities. Life becomes more meaningful, more profound. You become more generous, more compassionate, more aligned with the true essence of what it means to be human. The pursuit of heavenly treasures is not an easy one. It requires an inner change, a transformation that goes beyond external accomplishments. It is a shift in perspective, where you begin to understand that true wealth is not found in what you possess, but in who you are. And when you begin to realize this, the pursuit of material wealth starts to seem emptier, while the treasures of heaven become clearer, more present, and more powerful in your life. By focusing on heavenly treasures, you find true freedom. The freedom of no longer being bound by things that can be lost. The freedom of knowing that your true identity does not depend on what the world thinks of you, but on who you are at your core. By seeking faith, love, and peace, you free yourself from the chains of insecurity and comparison. And by obtaining these treasures, you draw closer to what is eternal, what is divine, what truly gives meaning to your existence. So the question is, where is your true treasure? Is it in things that are fleeting and vulnerable, or in things that are unchanging, that can never be corrupted, and that are given to you by divine grace? The answer, I believe, lies within you. The true search begins with an open heart for that which is eternal, for that which is true, and for that which will never be lost. When you begin to focus on spiritual treasures, something deep and transformative happens within you. It's as if, by placing the things of the Spirit at the center of your life, a new perspective is revealed. Before, everything seemed to be about accumulating, conquering, and achieving. Life was measured in earthly successes, milestones of power, wealth, and status. You lived to satisfy immediate demands, to attain what the world valued. But as your priorities shift toward the kingdom of God, you begin to realize that there is something deeper, more meaningful, that adds color and purpose to everything you do. This focus on spiritual treasures is not an escape from daily responsibilities or material needs. It doesn't mean you must abandon your duties, commitments, or goals. It's not a call to withdraw from the world, but rather to reorder your priorities. By putting heavenly things first, you begin to notice that, in some way, the weight of daily concerns diminishes. The relentless pursuit of wealth and power loses its appeal because you start to understand that these things are fleeting, temporary, and that true life, the kind that holds eternal value, is found in a much deeper dimension. your motivation begins to change. Perhaps before, you sought success as a form of validation, as proof that you were enough, that your life had value. Now, by prioritizing spiritual treasures, you realize that your value doesn't come from what you have or what you achieve, but from who you are at your core as a spiritual being, as someone made in the image of God. Your identity no longer depends on the possessions you accumulate, but on the faith you carry and the way you live in alignment with divine truth. This new focus alters your actions. You begin to act more consciously, more intentionally. The small things take on significance. The way you treat others, how you interact with the world around you, becomes a reflection of your new priorities. You start to realize that your mission is not to accumulate material goods, but to do good, spread love, and reflect the peace that comes from God. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every moment of patience becomes an expression of the treasures you now value. The simple act of being generous, listening attentively, showing empathy, becomes a reflection of your quest for spiritual truth. As you focus on your spiritual journey, your decisions become more guided by the wisdom that comes from above. You stop being guided only by immediate needs or the desire to please others. Instead, your life begins to be shaped by the intention to live according to principles that transcend human logic. Principles of love, forgiveness, mercy, and humility. Your vision of the future changes, and you realize that true happiness doesn't come from accumulating goods or gaining power, but from inner peace and the certainty that you are living in accordance with the higher purpose God has for you. The impact of prioritizing spiritual treasures is also reflected in your personal relationships. You begin to see those around you differently. They are no longer just individuals you interact with, but souls with whom you share a journey of growth. You begin to look at others with compassion, with a genuine desire to see good happen in their lives. By prioritizing the kingdom of God, your relationships become deeper, more authentic, and more focused on building unconditional love, where judgment is replaced by acceptance, where envy is replaced by generosity. This shift in perspective brings an inexplicable peace. By focusing on the kingdom of God, by valuing spiritual treasures, you find a tranquility the world cannot offer. The challenges and difficulties of life continue to arise, but your way of facing them changes. You understand that you are not alone, that there is a greater force, a divine grace sustaining you. This brings confidence, it brings security. The fear of the future diminishes because you know that, regardless of what happens, you are connected to the source of all peace and strength. However, this impact doesn't happen overnight. It's gradual, a change that takes time with each step taken towards spiritual priority. In the beginning, it may seem like life continues to be a whirlwind of material demands and daily urgencies. But as you allow the pursuit of spiritual treasures to guide your choices, life begins to take on a new shape. The world's concerns lose their grip on you, and you begin to experience an inner freedom, a joy that doesn't depend on what you have or what you achieve, but on who you are in God. It doesn't mean you will abandon material responsibilities or stop working toward your goals. It means that, by seeking heavenly things, you now have a higher purpose to guide your actions and decisions. By acting based on your faith, you begin to see work, relationships, and even challenges as part of your spiritual growth. The impact of prioritizing spiritual life in your daily choices goes beyond a simple desire to do good. It's the manifestation of a life in tune with the divine plan, where the things of heaven begin to reflect in everything you do here on earth. And in the end, you realize that by focusing on spiritual things, you have found what truly matters: peace, purpose, love, and an eternal connection to that which cannot be touched but defines true life. That is where true satisfaction lies, a satisfaction that material treasures can never provide. As you go through the days of your life, something begins to unfold before you, almost like a universal truth that you can no longer ignore. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. This wisdom, taught by Jesus in Matthew 6 verse 21, resonates deep within your soul. You begin to realize that the place where you choose to store what is most precious, what you consider to be your true wealth, directly reflects the focus of your being, the purpose that guides your actions and decisions. Now you ask yourself, where is your treasure? What do you value most? The things of this world, material possessions, status, fame, comfort, or the heavenly things which are eternal, unchanging, and spiritual? Every choice you make, every desire you nurture, every thought that occupies your mind, is leading you in one direction. If you invest your time and energy accumulating material wealth, your heart clings to what is temporary, fleeting, that wears out and fades with time. But if you dedicate yourself to seeking spiritual values, serving others, generosity, kindness, and compassion, you are storing your treasure in heaven. Storing treasures in heaven does not mean abandoning your responsibilities or neglecting material needs. It is not a call to withdraw from the world or live in an isolated bubble of reality. Rather, it means that you begin to prioritize what transcends the tangible, what cannot be stolen or corrupted, what has eternal value. When you choose to live according to divine principles, when you opt to be generous, to serve others, to seek God's will in every decision, you are, in a sense, investing in your eternity. Each act of kindness, every gesture of love, every moment of compassion is like a gold coin being deposited in the heavenly vaults. But something deeper begins to happen. As you live this way, a transformation occurs within you. The pursuit of status, power, and control starts to lose its grip. What once seemed essential, the recognition, the applause, the material achievements, becomes less important. What stands out now is inner peace, a sense that by living for others, by living with a generous heart, you are truly connected to the greater purpose that God has for your life. Your view of the world starts to change. You begin to see people no longer as obstacles, competitors, or mere parts of a system, but as precious human beings worthy of love and respect. Every person who crosses your path becomes an opportunity to serve, to spread divine light, to help build God's kingdom. As you live according to the principles of Jesus, you also begin to feel a transformation within. Anxiety about the future diminishes, for you realize you are investing in something eternal. Fears about tomorrow, about what will happen, begin to lose their weight because you are now more focused on what really matters, your connection with God and with others. Your heart, once bound by worldly worries, starts to be set free, because you have understood that true peace comes not from what you own, but from who you are in relation to the Creator. This shift in perspective, this reorientation of your heart, brings with it an indescribable freedom. Freedom to live with purpose, freedom to serve others without expecting anything in return, freedom to dedicate yourself to the things that have eternal value. When you begin to store treasures in heaven, you prepare yourself for eternity in a way that the temporal things never could. The accumulation of material goods, success in your career, the endless pursuit of recognition, all of this eventually fades. But what you have done in the name of love, generosity, and service to others are treasures that will last forever. And that's when you realize that true preparation for eternity is not about securing a comfortable life here, but living a life faithful to divine principles. The way you choose to live now has a lasting impact on what is to come. By investing in heavenly treasures, by choosing to love, forgive, serve, and live with a pure heart, you are building a solid foundation for the future, not just in the present, but for all eternity. Imagine for a moment that you are standing before a great heavenly vault, and all the good deeds you have done, all the words of kindness, all the moments you dedicated to others, are being stored there. Every act of generosity, every sincere prayer, every smile given to someone in need, is being recorded as an eternal, unchanging treasure. This heavenly vault cannot be corrupted by inflation or the decay of the world. It will not be stolen, and no thief can reach it. What you have built there will remain forever, and you will know that, in the end, your life made a lasting impact. A lasting impact that goes far beyond what the world can see or measure. Therefore, storing treasures in heaven is a journey that goes beyond simply accumulating spiritual wealth. It is a call to live in a way that honors God, to seek His will in every area of life, to serve others with a pure heart, to live with the certainty that by doing so, you are building something that transcends everything the world can offer. It is the promise that, by investing in what is eternal, you will simultaneously find deep purpose, true peace, and the assurance of an eternity with God, which is the greatest treasure of all. Once again you find yourself standing at a crossroads in your life, a crossroads that demands a choice, a decision that will resonate deeply within your soul. The world, with its relentless whirlwind of desires and distractions, constantly attempts to direct you toward the pursuit of more possessions, more status, more success. But deep inside, a quiet voice begins to whisper a truth that cannot be ignored. True transformation, the kind that truly matters, does not come from what you can accumulate, but from what you choose to seek within the depths of your being. Now, you realize that the search for spiritual treasures is not just a momentary decision. It is, in fact, a journey that goes beyond what the world can offer. As you begin to focus your attention on heavenly things, faith, hope, love, peace, something starts happening inside you. The weight of daily worries, anxiety, and dissatisfaction begins to lessen, as if a gentle breeze is clearing the air around you. Every moment devoted to this spiritual pursuit, every step taken toward God, is restoring your soul in ways you never imagined possible. This inner transformation does not happen all at once, nor is it something you can immediately touch or see. It is more subtle, more profound. It begins with the stillness of your heart, with a decision to step away from the noise of the world and turn toward the quietness of His presence. By doing so, you begin to feel an inexplicable peace, as if the weight you have carried for so long is finally being lifted. The rush you once felt in your life begins to slow down. You start to realize that, contrary to what you always believed, you don't need more to feel complete. The emptiness you once felt, that deep hole you tried to fill with achievements and material things, begins to be filled with something far more meaningful, a real and deep connection with God. As you progress on this path of spiritual pursuit, you begin to realize that the material things that once dominated your thoughts and actions now have less control over you. Those insatiable desires for more money, more things, more recognition, begin to fade away, replaced by a deeper thirst, a thirst for divine truth, for God's presence. Your soul begins to be restored, and what once seemed to be the center of your life, what you thought brought you happiness, loses the shine it once had. Your inner peace no longer depends on external circumstances, but on your connection with the divine. By nurturing this relationship with God, you experience a sense of balance that transcends any turbulence around you. Life, which once seemed like a game of seeking temporary satisfaction, now transforms into a journey of meaning and purpose. The things the world celebrates, yet never truly satisfies, begin to seem small in comparison to the greatness of the relationship you are building with the Creator. The pursuit of spiritual treasures begins to transform not only your relationship with God but also your relationship with those around you. You start looking at others with more compassion, with greater understanding. Selfishness and the desire to impose yourself begin to diminish, while the desire to serve, to love, and to understand others grows naturally. This inner transformation, which once seemed distant, now manifests in concrete actions. You begin to become the person you've always wanted to be but didn't know how to achieve. The changes within you are not instantaneous, but you begin to realize that you are becoming someone more centered, calmer, and more compassionate. Your life, once marked by ups and downs, begins to stabilize. The happiness you always sought in material things now becomes something that springs from your spirit. And as you grow deeper in your spiritual search, you begin to realize that you are being shaped for something much greater than you could have ever imagined. The treasure you now seek is no longer something you can hold in your hands, but something that dwells in your soul, a peace that nothing can steal, a hope that transcends circumstances, and an unshakable faith that continues to bloom even in times of difficulty. What you discover is that, by seeking these spiritual treasures, you are, in fact, becoming a new version of yourself. Your life begins to have profound meaning, and you start to live with purpose, guided by eternal values. The transformation that occurs within you is more than just a superficial change. It is a renewal of spirit, a renewal of soul. You begin to understand that true satisfaction is not in what you possess, but in who you are, a person connected to the divine, constantly seeking His will and reflecting His love in the world. When you seek spiritual treasures, you are not just changing your focus or your priorities. You are allowing your life to be restored and renewed in a way that goes beyond anything the world can offer. And as this inner transformation deepens, you become more aware of something you may not have noticed before. True happiness, one that does not depend on external circumstances, begins to blossom within you as you draw closer to God and His peace. And in this process you discover that the greatest treasure of all is not in accumulating, but in surrendering your heart to Him, allowing Him to transform your life from the inside out, filling your soul with that which is eternal. Thus, at the end of this journey of reflection, I hope you have found something that resonates deeply in your heart. Remember, true transformation comes from the inside out, and the pursuit of spiritual treasures is the path to a full and meaningful life. I am deeply grateful that you took the time to watch this content. Your presence here is valuable, and together we continue to walk this path of faith and reflection. If this message touched your life, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Like the video, share it with those you believe could also benefit from this reflection, and, of course, leave your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear your opinion about what touched your heart the most. May you continue to seek the eternal treasures that can truly transform your life. Thank you for being here, and until the next video, may God bless your journey.